Ciao, I'm Mario, a Swiss car guy on YouTube, and today I'm sitting in my 1989 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am because I'm trying to get it ready, because this weekend is the Arbon Classics, a nice classic car event, classic airplanes, classic trains and boats. The airplanes, I think they only fly over because there's no place to land there. But it's a great event. I'll visit every time I can. It's only every 2 years. So I'm trying to get the cars ready. The Cadillac is already there. It's already in Arbon at my mom's place. I still need to clean it at least. The Pontiac, I need to put it back together. Because you see, I think a couple of months ago, I decided I would take off the cowling of the steering column. This thing here, which is normally down here, like this, the lower part of the steering column. And I took it off because mine is like, it was wrapped in black tape. It didn't look very good. And I wanted to see if that's the reason why the car sometimes doesn't start, because there was stuff underneath that wasn't good. Well, I can tell you something, there is nothing underneath that's relevant to be looked at. And also, this part is apparently not serviceable. It's not something you're supposed to take off. And this one, I could only take it off because it had already broken and was taped together. So I could guess tape it back together and then put it on, but I don't like it. So I decided I 3D print a new one. So I modeled a replacement in Fusion, and then I printed it out. I had to print like 2 versions because the first one didn't really fit. I had to have a new version printed. I also printed this inner ring here that I don't know if I need it or not, but I thought I'd print it. It's not exactly the same, but I think it looks better. Anyway, and I also made it a bit longer for reasons, but I think it fits nicely. There's enough clearance. The difference between this and this, except for this being homemade, is that this is a 2-part design. So this way I can install it and then I can just snap it together. It's just a very basic snap fit. Yes, there is a seam. So if I put it on like this, the seam, I won't see it, but there is a seam. Anyway, I think this looks better than the whole tape thing, and the 3D printing leaves like a nice satin finish on it that doesn't look very out of place. And I'm not so sure about these inner rings here because I made it modular. I put some dovetails in so that I can slide it in and then have it in place, because I don't know if it will fit with these in place, but I will try it out now. So let's see if we can put it on like this and it will sort of fit, because there's also cables that need to go around and stuff. So I'm not really sure, but I want to try this out. So let's check it out. All right, let's see if I can fit this. Because once I put this back in, I can put all the cowling and stuff, the lower cladding here and the buttons back in, because right now I didn't. Okay, so this, let's take it apart. Let's put, see. Maybe I need to move the steering wheel into the down position. Yeah, this might work. Like this. And then there's some cables. Then I might want to get, oh, could I get it underneath here? Because that would be kind of neat. Okay, let's remove the lower dovetail. Okay, this is on, actually. It doesn't necessarily stay where it needs to be. Okay, this now moves quite a lot, but I reckon that once I put the lower cladding on, it will be held in place a bit better. I hope. Who knows? What do I need to put on? I think I need to put on this thing first. It's a good thing I don't have a screwdriver. Ah, the fog lights. I've been driving around without fog lights because, well, Oh, wow, this is quite tough. Okay. No. No, we're not there. I think now it's on. Now it's on now. Okay. Then these screws can come in from the bottom, I think. This holds. Good. Now I should be able to put this back on, but I think I put the screws back in already. Oh, these are not the right screws that hold. Oh, it's been so long since I undid it. Yeah, I think it's all right. Does it rattle? No, it's actually quite tight. Neat. I think this is it. All right, so this was a very quick job that I did. Just replace that stupid broken old cowling. And yes, I realize that 3D printing it might not be the right thing, because I think this thing is a security feature, that it's one piece and cannot be removed, because behind it you can access the little rod that goes to the ignition switch. So if you could just access it, you could just move the rod in the ignition switch and then turn the car on. But then again, if somebody wanted to steal a 37-year-old American car in Switzerland, I don't think so. So my solution with the 3D printing, it's cosmetically, it's nice. I think it works all right. Interestingly enough, when I removed this entire cowling, the little mechanism, the rod that would engage the starter switch, it wouldn't work properly. It would jam. It would fall out of its little channel that it's in. So because I'm not sure. I think originally it would have been routed through this hole, but previously, when this car has been disassembled in the past, or I don't know, they must have done it differently, because I was able to just remove this without disconnecting anything. So for the rod, in order to prevent it to get out of its little guide, because I think it had worn out, I just 3D printed a little sleeve around it, little like a bushing almost, just a U along, so that the rod can still slide nice in its groove, and it doesn't have enough wiggle room to fall out and then jam. So this means I should be able to start the car whenever I want, except for the issue. The reason I dismantled this whole thing is that when it's really hot, the car doesn't start. Because you see, these cars in 1989 had the VATS system. General Motors VATS, which Vehicle Anti-Theft System, I guess, which is basically like a transponder in the key you have in today's car. But these cars had just a resistor in the key. So if the system got the right resistor value, it would start the car. And of course, I don't have the resistor key, because one of the previous owners has wired the resistor directly into the ignition circuit. Again, makes the car much easier to steal, but I mean, really, do you want to steal such a car? And the fuel bills alone are not really worth it. But I think that resistor, maybe it gets hot. When it gets hot, it changes the value, and then the car doesn't start anymore. So I have to address it, but I haven't done it, because once I had this thing apart, it started consuming me on how do I replace this and what? Because usually you would have to change the steering column, and that's not something I wanted to do. So I just 3D printed the part. I 3D printed it, of course, in ABS, which is a plastic that withstands high temperatures, because in a car it can get up to, I think 70, maybe even 80 degrees Celsius, and ABS doesn't get soft at that temperature. So I printed it in ABS, and it took several hours to print, and it took a lot more hours to learn how to use CAD in order to do this. But I think it was a nice little project, because I think I should be able to use CAD. So I had to learn a few tricks on how to do these complex shapes here, and how to do then the snap fit and everything, and then the dovetails for the little inside ring. So I learned quite a lot, and I think it looks sort of presentable. you wouldn't be much the wiser if you knew it, and certainly looks better than before with all this black tape on it. So this is just my quick job. The Pontiac, I think, after a little cleanup, I already washed it, is ready for the Arbon Classics this weekend, which is, I think, the day after tomorrow already. Woohoo! And now I have to see how the caddy is doing, because that's already there at my mom's place in Arbon, where the Arbon Classics is. But I have been driving it a couple of times the last few weekends, and I think it drives all right. And yeah, now I just have to basically clean it, make it like sort of pretty, so that I can go to the Arbon Classic, where I will be Saturday and Sunday. But this is enough for this hopefully very short video. And like this video if you liked it, subscribe to my channel for more Pontiac content, Cadillac content. I will do Kia Stinger content and house content at sometimes, because the house, again, man, that is taking up a lot of time. I have a few projects going on. I think I will do a video sometime in the near future. Anyway, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and you know, comment down below on my very professional 3D printed repair. I love 3D printing. I love 3D printing because it's so useful. I mean, other people, they print out figurines and cosplay stuff, and I like to print functional things, like here, this cowling, or the bushing I had in there, or, you know, I also print for the house. I printed clips to fix things, I printed covers, and so I like 3D printing. It's really awesome, and it's so easy nowadays. Anyway, this is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.